According to multiple sources, Trump's Department of Justice is now investigating Minnesota Governor Tim Walz and Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey over alleged conspiracy to impede immigration agents. CBS News reports that one of the sources, a US official, said the investigation stems from statements that Walz and Frey have made about the thousands of immigration and customs enforcement officers and Border Patrol agents deployed to the Minneapolis region in recent weeks. The federal inquiry is focused on a federal statute, 18 U.S.C. 372, one US official told CBS News, which makes it a crime for two or more people to conspire to prevent federal officers from carrying out their official duties through force, intimidation, or threats. That's basically all the information we have about the investigation so far. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche did seem to make a vague reference to the investigation earlier this week, writing on X, "Walz and Frey, I'm focused on stopping you from your terrorism by whatever means necessary. This is not a threat, it's a promise." And as we know, yesterday Trump threatened to invoke the Insurrection Act. If the corrupt politicians of Minnesota don't obey the law and stop the professional agitators and insurrectionists from attacking the patriots of ICE. Now, Walz and Frey have been vocal in their opposition to ICE's campaign in Minnesota, but the DOJ hasn't provided any examples of them obstructing operations or directing others to do so. And in multiple instances, both men have urged protesters to stay peaceful. Take a look.
For anyone that is taking the bait tonight, stop. That is not helpful. Go home. We cannot counter Donald Trump's chaos with our own brand of chaos.
Donald Trump wants this chaos. He wants confusion. And yes, he wants more violence on our streets. We cannot give him what he wants. We must protest loudly, urgently, but also peacefully.
And in response to this news, Tim Walz said in a statement, 2 days ago, it was Alyssa Slotkin. Last week, it was Jerome Powell. Before that, Mark Kelly. Weaponizing the justice system and threatening political opponents is a dangerous, authoritarian tactic. The only person not being investigated for the shooting of Renee Good is the federal agent who shot her. Brett.
Yeah, they said they were going to look into the wife of the woman who was shot. They put more volume behind that announcement and zero volume behind whether, like, they never were like, we should look into this guy who did the deed. Like, also investigations. That's not a threat, it's a promise. Like, investigating is so boring. But it's like so annoying and it's so bureaucratic from these like small government people. It's the fact that they're looking at the guy who is out there saying, don't go out and do violence. I think the main problem that people like Donald Trump and Blanche and Kristi Noem face is that I have watched so many videos that provide evidence of how poorly ICE is doing its operations. That's the stuff. Like every time someone's like, well, here's this and here's that, I just say like, listen, it's my lion eyes you got to worry about. And it's my ears when I hear things happen and my eyes when I see it happen. Like I've seen so many videos of you guys doing some terrible stuff, taking 17-year-olds out of their job at Target and dropping them off at a Walmart after you brutalized them and didn't listen to them. You're going around the streets of America saying papers, please. That's not America. We don't have to also give you the papers. And it's this horrible, ridiculous video that I see, or the dynamic that I see at play every single time. It's always the same thing. It's like the ICE agents trying to trick you into something besides what the law is that they can get you on a technicality about obstructing justice or impeding their investigation. And the people that they're targeting, it's horrible. Like you're getting folk like Uber drivers sitting there waiting to drive more Uber. They're more vetted to become an Uber driver than you are to become an ICE agent. I saw a report where a woman tried she's a journalist and she kind of tried to start joining ICE to see how hard it would be. She gave up and they said, congratulations, you're hired. She was already on lists. calling these guys patriots, impeding the patriots of ICE. You know who you're hiring. There are plenty of patriots. I'm not one of those people. I'm not a bad person. I think there are some patriotic people who sign up for law enforcement so that they can do right in the world. That's not this batch, buddy. The batch of people who signed up for the military in the wake of 9/11, many of them whom I know were very patriotic people. This is just answering the call of a fascist and doing so because of misinformation and obvious cynical plays at power. These guys are talking about transparent. Oh, we want to be transparent. We're going to show you what's going on in the health industry. We're going to show you what's going on in transparency. I haven't seen the Epstein files nor the faces of the people who are rounding folks up on the street. And I don't need to dox them. I just think it's freaking weird when masked people show up in unmarked cars and take citizens into their cars after slamming them to the ground and then randomly dropping them off somewhere when they realize there's nothing. And then I can't hold these people civilly or criminally liable as easily as I would if they were telling me what they're supposed to tell me. Who are you? Who can I come after when I end up showing you my green card or my passport? Because I don't carry my passport with me. I'm an American citizen. I know my rights. The answer in America to something you perceive as wrong can't be illegal itself. And that is what Trump is going for. I understand that a lot of these problems are very complicated and very difficult. They are. This is a huge nation with a lot going on. But every time Trump is like, the answer is simple, we'll just round you up. Hey, he doesn't want to solve that problem. He wants to brutalize people. He wants to distract from the fact that the economy's in shambles. He just kidnapped the president of Venezuela with no subsequent plan. He wants the Nobel Peace Prize even though he's bombing a bunch of people, and he sucks. That's what he's trying to distract from. And in the meantime, you're locking up Tim Walz after saying that he doesn't like go after fraud when we can prove all the fraud he's gone after. They're locking up, they're investigating the person who is investigating the criminals. I think he's also jealous of how hot Jacob Frey is. Jordan?
I mean, they cried, they whined because Trump was just in court and he was ultimately charged with 34 felonies. He never faced any repercussions. The judge essentially let him off the hook because he won the election. And that's all it took for them to be like, well, now it's our turn. And they are casting a wide and thin, ultimately, net with spurious claims about anybody who even speaks out from a position of power. Multiple senators, the governor, now the mayor. Across the board, they're going after anybody who gets in their way. Like you're saying, Brett, you've got a basically masked Gestapo asking people for their papers, citizens. And the DHS secretary is saying, yeah, if you're a citizen, you should carry your proof of citizenship. Are you kidding me? And we see how they're abducting citizens, holding them in some cases for weeks at a time, abusing them, beating them up, who did nothing wrong. You can yell at an ICE agent. I don't know who needs to hear this. You're allowed, and it is protected to yell at an ICE agent. It's not polite, but it's legal. They think that gives them cover to kidnap and assault you and drop you off somewhere else across town. And the right is fine with that. And I mean, Brett, you're invoking patriotism. If you support this, to me, you're just not American. This is antithetical to what we all should understand as the idea of America and what we stand for, purportedly. We certainly haven't lived up to that standard, but we should aspire to. And this pulls us farther from that dream.
Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.